and welcome. Today we're doing lesson number 13, A Meaningless World Engenders Fear. Today's idea is really another form of the preceding one, except that it is more specific as to the emotion aroused. Actually, a meaningless world is impossible. Nothing without meaning exists. However, it does not follow that you will not perceive something that has no meaning. On the contrary, you will be particularly likely to think you do perceive it. Recognition of meaninglessness arouses intense anxiety in all these separated ones. It represents to them a situation in which God and the ego challenge each other as to whose meaning is to be written in the empty space which meaninglessness provides. The ego rushes in frantically to establish its own ideas there, fearful that the void may otherwise be used to demonstrate its own impotence and unreality. And on this alone it is correct. It is essential, therefore, that you learn to recognize the meaningless and accept it without fear. If you are fearful, it is certain that you will endow the world with attributes that it does not possess and crowd it with images that do not exist. To the ego, illusions are safety devices, as they must also be to you who equate yourself with the ego. The exercises for today, which should be done about 3 to 4 times for not more than a minute or so at most each time, are to be practiced in a somewhat different way from the preceding ones. With eyes closed, repeat today's idea to yourself. Then open your eyes and look about you, slowly saying, I'm looking at a meaningless world. Repeat this statement to yourself as you look about, then close your eyes and conclude with, a meaningless world engenders fear because I think I am in competition with God. You may find it difficult to avoid resistance in one form or another to this concluding statement. Whatever form each resistance may take, tell yourself that you are really afraid of such a thought because of the vengeance of the enemy. You're not expected to believe the statement at this point and will probably try to dismiss it as preposterous. Note carefully, however, any signs of overt or covert fear which it may arouse. This is our first attempt at stating an overt cause and effect relationship of a kind which you're very inexperienced in recognizing. Do not dwell on the concluding statement and try not even to think of it except during exercise periods. That will suffice at present. So let's take a minute to talk about the ego in the paragraph 2, where it says that the ego does not like anything void. The ego is go, 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 go. It's constant. It does not want to stop. It does not want to pause. It does not like vacuum. It wants to fill every space so that you do not ever have the time to go within and think about God or think about things that matter within. Do not look within is ego's mantra. So the paragraph 2, simply put, it says, it is so fearful that of the void of its own judgment, like it judges itself as impotence and unreal, that it will fill that void no matter what. And here alone it is correct. That's what it says. And then in paragraph 3, I love the fact that he says, if you recognize the meaningless and accept it without fear, try to do that. Because if you are fearful, then you're going to will enter the world with attributes that it does not possess and crowded with images that do not exist. So anything that's fearful and everything around. Look at around the world we are in today. It is totally fearful. It's totally chaos. And the Course in Miracles teaches us, and he starts here, the cause and effect. And this is the first he mentions of the overt and the covert in the next paragraph, where he says, if you make this world real, everything that happens here, think about it for a second. Nothing stays forever in this world. Is there any consistency to anything? The only thing consistent that I have seen in my experience now is God is consistent. Everything within God is consistent. But is there any consistent truth to this ego? I have not seen it. If you have, let me know. So that is what this is referring to. Meaningless world engenders fear. Now, it is also saying that nothing without meaning exists. It is how we perceive everything. And at the same time, it is really asking you to just observe your thoughts. It's not asking you to do anything. It's not asking you to put it aside. It's not asking you to do anything with it. Just observe what your thoughts are in that moment of the sentence. In this, it says in this paragraph 3, it says, to the ego illusions to safety devices. So anything that the ego feels, all this chaos, all this, these are all safety devices for the ego. That's where it thrives. Just like the example that comes to my mind is that mold thrives in wet places. Just like that, I feel, and that's one analogy I can think of right now. Ego thrives in these situations, in chaos, in the world. It wants to keep us there and not actually want to look within and hold on to the truth. And then over here it says that when we say the sentence, a meaningless world engenders fear because I think I'm in competition with God, it says that after that you may find it difficult to avoid any kind of resistance. And whatever form the resistance may take, tell yourself that you're really afraid of such a thought because of the vengeance of the enemy. That's what we've been taught. God asks us to, God is going to take vengeance on this. It doesn't make any sense to me that that could be true. God is an ever-loving God. Then it says that note any signs of overt or covert fear. Overt is meaning anything that is shown, that fear that you show, which is the world. Right now you're seeing the chaos and every situation that you see is overt. Covert fear is anything that's hidden, that's concealed. A lot of things that we have within ourselves we don't even know. And the whole thing about that is we don't know what anything is for in the first place, but we pretend as if we know everything. And then whatever that fear is, that hidden fear, which you don't know, it's okay. But just observe it, what it is. That's what he's saying. Do not try to dwell on it or anything. Just observe it. And that is all is needed in this lesson. That is all is needed in this lesson. Just keep practicing and see what comes up. And be vigilant, because this is your transformation. You want to have peace all the time. And this is one way of getting there. I love you all so much. Have a great day, a great week. Namaste. Thank you for being here.